My name is Gary McElroy Hamilton Sr., and I played defensive tackle, and I was a backup offensive tackle for the 82 football team. I wanted to be the best player I could be for the team, and I knew this would be my first time ever starting on the varsity, so I knew I had to really put in the work. Um, Pretty much had to train after workouts, that kind of thing, just to get myself ready to go and be that positive link in the chain for the team. Um, I was in my seventh period class, my government class, and the announcement came over the PA system at school. Said all football players, junior varsity and varsity, report to the team locker room. And me thinking, I'm getting out of class early, so I'm kind of liking it. So I'm like, hey, I'm getting out of class early. It's no big deal there. But I had no idea at that time that when I walked into the locker room, everybody asked me, they said, yo, man, you seen Hatchet and Grady? I said, no, nah, man, they went home to go get their pads or something. And when I looked into the coach's office, I noticed the coaches had this real somber, real sad look on their faces. And I'm like, something ain't right here. And normally Al and Grady would have made it back. It was, I'm 17 years old. How am I supposed to deal with that? And he's my teammate since ninth grade. And wait a minute, this isn't right. And that's all I heard when we lost a teammate today. I immediately broke into tears. I had never faced death before or someone close to me. And I didn't know what to think. I just cried pretty much the entire time I was there. And it was I have to say, one of the saddest moments in my life next to losing my parents. Yeah, I would have to. And after 35 years, it still hits me hard. Numb. I felt like, I played next to him and we were what you call we were together. We were like we kind of like joined at the hip on the defense. And I felt that his absence was like, who's going to take his place? Who's going to play hard enough like he did? And my homeboy John Cook stepped up and played like a warrior, and it made it complete. But it was hard. It was very difficult to walk around the school and not see him. And I was in the band with his brother, and it was even tough enough just even trying to talk to him without crying. I think once we pretty got over the initial shock of everything, coach got us all together before we practiced, and he told us we had to move on. It was hard to do it without him, but we have to muscle our way through it. We have to be strong enough to play in his memory, to play for him. And where my teammates are some great guys, and I can tell you right now, we pulled together. It was like something just clicked. And we were in practice one day, and we were coming off the field. It was Thursday, and we were preparing to play a game. And one of my teammates said, man, it felt like he was out here with us. And it did. And I was like, wow, man. I said, I know I can do this now, and my teammates felt the same way. And it pulled us all together. And it was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. Being 17-year-old senior, lost my teammate, but I had all these guys around me coming together. And it was a great feeling. It was awesome. As far as the homegoing goes, it was real for me when I saw him in the casket. And I really had to think about what I needed to do as a teammate and as his friend. I was going to miss him, but I knew I had to play football. And I think the turning point for us, it was a rival game. And people had been talking about this game for a while because they knew that the Norview Pilots were going to be the Eastern District champions. They actually picked us last in the district. And for me, that was the turning point. When we won the Eastern District title that night. That was the turning point. That's when I knew we were going to be the team to beat. We were going to be the team that was going to get. We were going to do the impossible, and I felt we could do that. I don't know about nobody else, but I was pumped up. I was like, "Oh my God, we beat Norview. Who is next on the list?" You know, it was like it's time to go. It was like an energy pump. It was like somebody pumped us full of Monster and added more adrenaline to it. And it was just like boom. When we were gung ho in practice, we were working hard to get to where we wanted to go. And it was amazing what we did for the rest of the season. It was like nobody could touch us defensively or offensively. We beat people in the ground. I mean, I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's true. I mean, we had the best defensive line in the city of Norfolk, pretty much almost the state, because we were small but quick, and that's what our theme or our coach wanted to use. Hey, we might not be the biggest team, but we're going to be the fastest team on the field, and we were. And with guys like Michael Boykins, Gene Darby playing linebacker, nothing got past 5 yards. And if it did get past 5 yards, our safeties and our corners were some of the toughest guys I ever played ball with. And we were beasts out there. I'm just going to admit it. We were monsters. And the way the game has changed now, they wouldn't allow us to play. They would have probably just ejected us. Me especially. First Colonial, we had tied them 24-24 in the regular season. And they were happy because they got away. We let them get away from us. And when we played them, they had a running back, one of the best in the, he got player of the year, Will Forbes. And they knew we were coming after him. We were going to shut him down. I think it was about the third play from scrimmage. And he came up the middle, and Jamie Noonan, the nose guard, hit him and took his legs out and broke his ankle. After that, they were all ours. And we beat them like 31-7. And our defense was just, we were in shutdown mode. We were not going to let him get past 10 yards. And if he got 10 yards, he was going to have to fight for every inch. And I think that our whole team was just we were just really well prepared. We knew what we were facing. And we went ahead and we won the Eastern Region title that night. But as the games progressed that we had to play, the teams we played were better teams. The Hampton Crabbers, they had a 35-game win streak, and they were the reigning state champions. Steve MacArthur caught the game-winning touchdown. And I was on the sideline, and when I saw him catch it, I just took a deep sigh of relief. I said, this is over. We got this now. And we had beat a team that had won 35 games in a row, and we shut them down. And they had some of the best players that went pro on their team. Like one quarterback, his name is Curry, and Banks was a linebacker tackle. He went to Notre Dame, and Curry played with the Oakland Raiders. So those are the kind of caliber guys we were playing. And when they got to the semifinals, Dinwiddie, who was the biggest, they were big. These were some big kids. It seemed like the better the teams we got, the bigger they got. And I'm like, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I think it started to wear on us a little bit because some of us were banged up. After that game, my ankle, I had a 300-pound guy fall on my ankle, and it was like, Lord have mercy. And I knew him later on in life. His name was, I can't think of his name right now, but he lived in Petersburg, Virginia when I lived there. And really nice guy, big guy. Paul Jones is what his name was. Sweetheart of a guy. He passed away about 7 years ago of a heart attack. But other guys that played on that team, I mean, it was a tough game, but we won. And I think the best play out of that game was Tony Grady. He went around the side. I thought he was tackled. He broke the tackle. Nobody blew the whistle. And he went in and scored the game-winning touchdown. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold it. We beat these guys? And when it came to the state title, and I'm gonna throw this at you, and it's gonna sound weird when I say it. I was standing in the door in the locker room, and I was just looking out at the field, and I saw their players out there. And all of a sudden, I heard this rumble, and the crowd got loud. It had to have been about 40 or 50 guys coming down the hill, and they had on black and silver. And I could have swore they were the Oakland Raiders. They were that big. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long day. But I was confident in our ability to get out there and play with them. But that was a long day. We lost the state title, but it was fun getting there. I think how we came together as a team after we lost our brother. I think it made us realize that we were more than just football players. We were brothers, and that to me, and just playing ball with guys I grew up with and grew up around, to me was epic, because we did things that people didn't think we could do. And a young guy from like me, like the young guy I was back in the day, coming out of Chesterfield Heights, a lot was depending on me, because there were a lot of guys in my neighborhood that played at Lake Taylor, and I knew I had a lot to live up to. And I feel I did that. And I think it was amazing what we did. You know, a lot of people talk about remember the Titans, but our story is kind of similar. You know, we lost someone who we cared about and we loved as a brother. But I think the most standout memory for me was the Princess Anne game. My family was there, of course. My mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister. And my other brother at the time was in the Air Force. And the game was packed. I mean, it had been about 10,000 people there. And we were on the field, and my mom told me my brother was on the way when I got to the sideline. And later on, my mom and brother told me he was in his Air Force uniform. He jumped the gate to get into the game. I'm like, dude, you mean tell me you jumped in? You didn't pay to get in? He said, I wasn't missing that game. It was funny. And he did the same thing for the first Colonial game. So it was kind of weird. But those are some memories that I have with my family. But as far as my memories go with those guys I played with, every game was a great game. Every practice was a fun practice. And to me, it'll always go down in history as one of the best teams Lake Taylor ever had. You know, and that's something I'm gonna always cherish. You know, until I'm a real old man. I pray to God that He lets me tell my great grandkids about the '82 team and how I played a part in it. You know, and honestly, it was something that I'm always cherish. I would like to say, you know, that song that says "Glory days they'll pass you by." You know, but those are things that hold us together. Those are the things that that bind us as people. And as an athlete, a former athlete and a coach now, I try to impart that on my players. I try to let them know that, hey, football is life. And when I mean that, I say you win, you're gonna lose. But it's how you get back up tells a story. Because in life you gotta get back up when you get knocked down. And that's what the 82 team taught me, and that's what I carry through life. And when I tell my players, I said, when I used to play ball, it was fun. It was something that I cherish, and I still do to this day. I love the game of football. And to the young people that are listening to this, I really want you guys to enjoy your time in high school, enjoy your time in college, because when you get old, all you have is those memories and the people that you share them with. And you always keep them close to your heart. So that's what I want to impart to everyone. And I'm gonna always be a Lake Taylor Titan, and they're gonna bury me as one. And to my brothers who are gonna do these interviews, I want you to know I love you. I think about you all the time. And be living in Tennessee, I don't get to see them. And this is great for me because I was one of the emotional guys on the team, as you can tell. And I tried not to show it, but it's hard because after 30 something years, I still love those guys. They're my brothers, and they're going to always be my brothers. But I want to thank you for this opportunity, for you and Steve, because I get to tell my side of it. I get to tell how I felt. And I always wanted to do this. I wanted to write a book, and might turn it into a movie. I don't know. But I'm going to leave that to Steve. And I'm hoping that this goes further than just us. I just want the young people to see it and to know that, you know, we did something that's carrying on through history. And I think that's an awesome thing. I just, like I said, I want to thank you and Steve for this honor and this privilege to tell my side. And I greatly appreciate it.